this is the third summit, Core Cities Summit, and we've been supporting our core cities for a number of years now, and we believe passionately in their importance to the UK economy. They generate 25% of the GVA of the country, and probably there's never been a more important time post-Brexit to really think about how we can improve their productivity.
I'm very interested in the economic inclusion slot this morning, really how we ensure that the benefits of growth are spread across all of our communities.
In particular, I'm interested to hear what the latest learning is and discussion piece around productivity. It's an issue for us in Glasgow in terms of improving productivity of the city. So I think today I'll get a lot of good messages out, and there'll be some learning that I can take back to Glasgow.
So I'm here to learn what other cities have experienced, how they're getting on with new public sector funding, and how we can benefit in the capital city of Scotland.
Today's event is about trying to put on the government's agenda the important role of our major cities in boosting and growing the UK economy.
Well, I'm quite excited that we're launching the interim findings of the RSA's Inclusive Growth Commission, which has had a lot of support from the core cities. The idea is we really need to make inclusive growth our working definition of economic success in the UK.
Core cities are 10 cities across Scotland, Wales and England at the forefront of desire to improve economic activity. We're here today to launch the Whole Place Leadership document, which talks about how we can improve economic prospects for our cities and therefore the country as a whole. It is cities that drive growth for nations. It's cities that the flows of trade move directly between, and cities that address the pan-national issues like climate change. And so we are saying we need to be in the driving seat of negotiations alongside government.
I think there's a lot of challenges for core cities. Some of them have been highlighted by the Brexit vote, although they've certainly been building for many years. It's this sense that narrow economic success and even some of the models for economic success and economic regeneration in city areas has not really benefited all the people living there and has not really brought down the social problems that maybe we expected that kind of social improvement to come with rising employment and growth. In fact, many of those problems have become more entrenched. If all the towns and cities in the UK had a GVA per capita, and that's just GVA, and we would like to go broader than that, in line with the UK national average, you'd add about £190 billion to the economy.
The key message is, in terms of the autumn statement coming up in a few months' time, the Chancellor has an opportunity to choose growth, to back our cities, to invest in infrastructure, including that outside of London, and the opportunity to revitalise and renew the UK economy on a place-based approach with place-based leadership has never been so powerful and never been so necessary.
So what we have fundamentally zeroed in on is the need to bring economic and social policy more closely together. I think we need to do that at the national level, but actually the most practical place where that's really going to happen is locally, and we think a more flexible approach to devolution, giving tools but also more resources to metro areas is a key part of making those economic and social objectives come together.
The industrial strategy to create a new industrial renaissance with a new manufacturing economy is absolutely central to inclusive growth.
There are three principal next steps. The first is for the core cities and the core city leaders to continue to work together, to share experience and to provide a very strong platform for lobbying government for continued support. The second thing is to engage with the Inclusive Growth Commission, which is due to report in March next year, to ensure that they make their case through that commission for a joined-up approach across economic and social policy. And the third thing is a plea to government to take a whole-place approach to cities, to think about them in the round, to address people issues alongside physical issues.
It's the assets of a city that will attract the private sector to work in that city. It's the people, it's the employability of individuals, it's the level of education, it's the culture, it's the history, it's the quality of life.
Many people ask us, how can we get engaged? How can we play our part? Businesses in particular need to come and engage with us. Many do already, but there's so much more we can do to unlock the potential of everyone in our communities.
I think delegates can take away from today's event, firstly, a sense of excitement in our major cities, a real sense of purpose, a real sense of direction, a real vision for how the future can be better for everyone. Collectively, I think we all share the same vision, which is a better society, a better economy, and jobs and growth that everybody benefits from.
And at GVA, we work very much at that interface between the public and private sector, and we see the need to take that long-term, rounded perspective that thinks not just about the physical, but also about the social, and particularly about people.
I thought it was an excellent morning. I'm always really enthused to see local civic leaders promoting and engaging with the private sector to see development within UK regional cities.
We weren't short of things to talk about today, so a very good programme, a very challenging programme.
There's a great deal of uncertainty that underlies so much of what we heard today, and that came through in some of the discussion. Nobody quite knows what the whole devolution agenda, for example, is going to look like over the next few years.